Hello, I'm Brandt Merritt.
And I'm Jonathon Woodyard.
We are back with another episode of the Unapologetic Podcast for Southwest Baptist University. This is our last podcast of 2024, actually.
Wow.
How does that feel?
Kind of surreal. I mean, the year has gone quickly. And I feel that way at the end of every year. And my birthday is January the 8th. So we get into the new year and I have a birthday. So I'm older. So I'm always staring. Christmas is exciting, but also staring at my birthday. And the older I get, those are less exciting. Even looking at the bags under my eyes and the gray beard. Time marches on. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
My birthday was a couple weeks ago, and our youngest daughter asked me as we were leading up to it, "Daddy, when you get older, are birthdays as exciting as like when you're a kid?" I was like, No, they're still fun. They're great, but it's different than
Well,
when
they're
you're
different. And
9 years
then
old.
I guess we also have our oldest, so Calvin, his birthday's in December. So December 22nd is his birthday. And so he turns 16 this year.
Oof.
So there you go. We're going to have a 16-year-old in the house, and that makes me feel old. And then a couple weeks later, I turn a year older. So, but that's
Time keeps on ticking.
It's not an exciting way to kick off our podcast talking about how bad we feel. It's been an exciting year. I'm looking forward to a great year going into 25.
We want to talk about all of our favorite moments and exciting things from this past year, and we commiserate on getting older. There you go. It says something.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but
No.
Well, we're gonna, in the spirit of Christmas, do a Christmas movie icebreaker. So we love movies in our house. I think you guys like movies too. So favorite Christmas movie? Put it out there. What you got?
Yes. Am I allowed to say Die Hard? I mean, is that a Christmas?
Yeah,
that's the
of
debate.
course.
I love the original, the Christmas Die Hard, right? The Christmas Party. So I actually really enjoy those movies. We've not let the boys watch them because they're not quite appropriate for them. But like that one. But one that most people don't think of, or a lot of people don't think of, that I really like, and I don't know why I liked it so much, and I still do. I still think about sitting around snow in the living room, snowing outside, cold, snuggle up, watch The Polar Express. So big fan, Tom Hanks, love that. And when it first came out, I mean, it's been a long time ago now, but when it came out and the CGI, if any of it's CGI, I don't know what it was, but just the way they made it, it was something. When it first came out, it was a big deal. And I think we went to see it on IMAX. I can't remember something. Or no, maybe it's 3D. I think it was 3D.
Oh, yeah. No, we saw it in 3D too. And the snow came down at the end. It was,
So, maybe it's more of the experience that's tied to it for me. But love Polar Express. I mean, we always watch Elf and those things. But Die Hard is fun for me. Just kind of a silly, is it a Christmas movie, not a Christmas movie, but I'll enjoy it. And Polar Express is probably my favorite one to sit around and watch.
That's good. That was my dad's favorite to watch with our girls. Absolutely, this time of year. So that's on our list too. So I'm kind of like you. I'm picking a fun favorite, but then a little bit more obscure, sentimental favorite. So the fun one is Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Hilarious. I quote it throughout the year, but especially during Christmas. We have mugs at home. Christy has one that says, "And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?" And I have one that says, "I don't know, Margot," from that scene. So it's just such a quotable movie. A lot of fun. Love Clark Griswold.
That's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but the guy that played the movie, I don't think anybody ever heard of him again. But
the neighbor, I don't know what else he did.
Yeah. Right.
But then the sentimental one, I don't know if this is one you've seen. So if it is, I give you credit. The Man Who Invented Christmas.
Never
seen that one. So it's an adaptation story of Charles Dickens and how he came up with the Christmas story. And it's got Dan Stevens, who, for anyone who likes Downton Abbey, he was Matthew on Downton Abbey. Okay. But it's just a fun. It's got a lot of laughs, but also just a good heartstring and how he came about the book, and more about him than about Christmas Carol. But they weave in the Christmas Carol characters as he's trying to write the book, and it's well done. Really enjoy it.
Good. Yeah. Well,
So
Christmas
add that
Eve
to your
is fun.
list.
We love the Christmas season. We had Christmas, so we travel. So we were heading to Kentucky to see family Saturday, and so we do a little Christmas together with just me, Gina, and the boys here. We did that last night. It's fun. Late night because we had a Christmas party for Gina's work, and but once we got back, we exchanged gifts, and it was a lot of fun last night.
Yeah, the parties have been nonstop, and then we'll hit next week, and it'll just kind of be quiet, which will
Yeah, yeah.
that'll
We
be
had our
nice.
staff party today, so we had a crowd in student life. Everybody from safety and security to residence life to student activities, campus counseling. A lot of people represented in the room, and we did a little. What is the gift exchange?
White elephant.
White elephant.
Yeah,
Gift exchange, and everybody brought food, and we ate too much and had a lot of fun though, so it was good. So that was the last party, and now we're out of here Saturday. Go sit at my mom and dad's house and watch football
and basketball.
and basketball. Kentucky plays Saturday at 4:30, 5:30 Eastern in Madison Square Garden against Ohio State.
Will you get there in time, or is that going to
Oh,
be
that is the goal. We will get
okay?
there in time to watch the game.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
good luck with that.
we will look. We leave early enough to get. We will make sure to leave early enough to get there. So
Nice.
yeah,
All right. Well, we're going to reflect on the fall 2024 semester, but like we were talking earlier, yours might stretch a little bit into the summer as far as
yeah.
what you remember from the semester. But top 5 things, we're just going to talk through what are some of the big moments, your favorite experiences or things that happened throughout the fall semester. There was a lot that happened this semester and a lot of really good things. So some of ours might be aligned, but we might have some different ones on there too. So I'll let you go first. Pick one of your first
Well, I'll
ones.
pick. Yeah, so it goes back to the summer a little bit, and part of it is the reason we reflect on this and talk about the things that are happening here. Hopefully, listeners get kind of a snapshot of what's happening. We're not just sending kids to class or telling them to do homework or go to a football game. There's a lot of stuff going on the campus throughout the year. I think around 75 or so events out of student activities office alone over the course of a year. So you just divide that in half. We had a lot of stuff going on in the fall, and a lot of that stuff. For me, the exciting thing was to find or to have somebody on staff in the director of campus experience seat. That when I first got here, we didn't have one of those. We had a lady that was a student life coordinator, but she was kind of helping lead the student activities office adjacently. So she's over there doing some stuff. But then we hired somebody. Now that person was doing a great job, but they got engaged. Good for them, but they leave, and so I didn't have anybody in that seat for a long haul. And so this summer to see Taylor Worley come on, and Taylor coming from Texas. Taylor I had known years ago back in Kentucky. We did college ministry together. I discipled him a little bit back in the day when he was actually a high school student and college student. So invested in him, watched him go off to seminary, then into collegiate ministry at places like University of Texas, Austin, and then pastoral ministry. And so just excited to see that caliber of person coming to Bolivar with his family and plugging in, hit the ground running. He gets here, he's got to start planning welcome week. I mean, he had no time to breathe really. Just he's here in the summer, but summertime is when a lot of the things that are happening on campus, those things, the details are being hammered out in the summertime. Calendars being put together, vendors are being contacted. So kind of top moment for me was seeing not only a friend, somebody I knew and had a relationship with previously, somebody I trust, know what I'm getting, to see him move here, land on site. So that was a big deal. And so talking about what you see go on in the fall, a lot of the success, a lot of the things that we saw are because he shows up and just does a great job leaning into his team and leading and all that sort of thing. So really thankful for him.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing the last couple of years, the teams get built has been so encouraging. Of the people that everyone's been bringing in to different parts of campus has been exciting. Just so many really great people that were already here and then have been added to the teams. And Taylor is absolutely
Sorry.
people. That's a dog. Which one is that, Gunner?
Gunner, I think the FedEx person is pulling up.
Nice.
It's Christmas time. I'll try to mute it.
There you go. So I'm going to play off yours for one of mine. You mentioned Taylor. Taylor was a star in one of my favorite memories from the semester, which is super recent. We just did a fun Christmas video that was a lip sync of Jingle Bell Rock. And I put this one on here just because, I told our marketing team that was filming it, it's just fun to do fun things. I think we do so many grueling things throughout the year in my world, recruiting students, trying to strategize what college fairs we're going to go to, what things we need to change on the website, so many strategic, tactical that just kind of sometimes can be draining or monotonous. But then you get these moments to do really fun, creative things. And we brought in some different people on campus from the admissions office, but then some from student life, Taylor being one of them. And we filmed this fun lip sync video in the lobby that got posted on social media this week that I just thought was a neat little cap to the semester and a reminder of, just the way we can smile and laugh together and celebrate the season. So that was just very rewarding in its own little small kind of low stakes way that hopefully brought a little bit of joy to some people that got to see it. But Taylor hammed it up in that video, man. He had fun.
Yeah, he loves that sort of thing. He's a different guy. You get to know him. I've got these stupid dogs barking. I'm gonna catch them. It's crazy.
And they're not even mic'd up. That's impressive that you can hear them. Well, you want me to go for my number two? I'll do my number two.
Go for number two, and I'm going to see somebody's knocking on the door.
We'll come back to you. So while Jonathon's checking on the delivery over there, I'll mention my second one. So this was more of a tactical piece, but very exciting for the university. We had two kind of outside recognitions that I thought were pretty substantial this year. One was the Heritage Foundation, which is a national kind of think tank, conservative organization based in DC. And they looked around the nation, bunch of different schools, and they didn't really do like a scoring system, but they had sort of three categories that put you in like a great option, average option, or the one that they would not recommend families send their students to. And they're, again, a conservative, a lot of faith components in what they look at. So they're looking at schools that embody those values. And we were one of two schools in Missouri that they picked as a great option. So that was just exciting, rewarding to see that on the national level. And then there's a kind of a more regional organization called the Plaster Foundation that supports a lot of universities, sometimes with capital campaigns or donations to those things. But they actually were willing to hear a proposal from SBU for supporting some other initiatives that we wanted to do on campus with a substantial six-figure gift that meant a lot and is helping us do some things on the marketing side and for the university as a whole. So that just is rewarding to see a couple of prominent groups from outside the school recognize what we're doing and want to come alongside and support what's happening with SBU. So those are related in kind of a favorite moment that both of those groups recognize SBU.
Well, talking about my dogs going crazy, we were talking about Taylor. Both of us had mentioned him. He was at my door dropping off a Christmas gift. And I told him and said, thanks, get out of here. My dogs are going nuts, and I'm talking about you on a podcast. So that was providential, funny.
God's timing. There you go.
Yeah. Carrying on, a lot of things happening, Taylor being here on the ground, planning things. But then for me, it's just the second year in the row that it's happened. But thinking back, when students get here, we want to make sure they have a great onboarding experience, right? We want to make sure they get assimilated into the life of the school. They create connection, a sense of belonging from day one. And so towards that end, we try to do this welcome week stuff. We got you get here, you check in, you get your dorm assignment, you move in, meet your roommate, all that stuff. And then we put you in welcome week groups and you're getting to know new people that are on campus. You get a welcome week leader with somebody who's been here for a while. So all that's fun. But one of the things that we started last year when I got here and bought a house, we bought a house outside of town a little bit. We've got 5 acres and a huge front yard. I thought, man, it'd be great to have students on property. Just somehow get them all here, 300 or however many students plus leaders. So 350, 360 people. If we could somehow, the dream was get them on our property and do some fun things, dunk tank, inflatables, food, whatever. And so we did that last year. It was a lot of fun, went well. And then this year we did it again. And so for me, it's just kind of a highlight. It talks about what we're trying to do. We're trying to engage students, get to know students, care for students, know their name. And one of the ways for us to start off on the right foot is to just have them not in the classroom, not on campus at some mandatory meeting, not in my office because they've got some issue they need to talk about, but just have them in my home or around my home, on my property, around my family, my kids, the dogs, my wife, right? Have them out here. And so that's something we did again this year. And so that went great. Felt like this year went better. There was more engagement. People stayed longer. We did last year, and kids started getting on the buses first chance they had to leave. This year, I'm actually making announcements. I need you to actually get on the bus and go home. So just really enjoyed. For me, that's just hopefully something we do for a long time. They call it Woodyard's front yard, and they have magnets that they made and little ornaments that they made for that event, and something that I look back on with fondness of thinking about all those new students and then students I'm getting to know that were here serving, seeing them out at our house has been pretty cool.
Yep. We love coming out. Our girls come out and participate with it too. And it's now neat having been here a second year. There are some students from the local community that come that we get to know outside of SBU through church and other places. And then some of those have now come to SBU. So our girls are like, oh, that's Ashlyn from church, or this Rachel, who I knew from summer camp. And so just neat to kind of see that play out. I was going to mention Welcome Week as one of mine. And, the perspective we have on the admissions and enrollment side is working with these students throughout the fall and the spring of their senior year, and sometimes longer than that.
Yeah.
Seeing them at visit events, Bearcat Days, Preview Day, summer orientation. And then you finally kind of get this payoff of they come to Welcome Week. And so all of this relationship building that you've been doing and really trying to help guide them to where God wants them to be, which we certainly want it to be here at SBU, but it's a lot of emotional, relational investment from admissions counselors and our team, even for the students that don't come, or for those that do. It's just so rewarding to be able to see them, welcome them on campus, and say, hey, now you're here, you're part of the family, and get to sort of relate to them a different way and not have to be recruiting them at that point, but just get to enjoy seeing them on campus, seeing them make friends, and seeing all those activities that Welcome Weekend is fun on our end.
I think, one of the things it does, even thinking about that, the beginning of that year and then the end of the beginning of the semester and the end of the semester. At the beginning of the semester, we're trying to build relationships, get to know people, just build relationships that are, I like to say, strong enough to bear the burden of truth. So if you have to have a hard conversation or give a piece of advice, you've got some sort of relationship with a student. So you get to the end of the semester, and part of what we're seeing, the payoff, is you have students that are trying to make big life decisions. Should I stay here? Should I transfer? We've had that with some athletes even the last couple of weeks. The transfer portal. Should I enter the transfer portal? Oh, I don't think I'm going to go. What should I do? I haven't thought through things very clearly. I need some help here. And so they're reaching out. Their text messages, even today, texting with an athlete who's trying to figure out how to make things work by coming back to SBU. But part of that, the reason I can engage those conversations and they text is because there's that relationship. There are things like Welcome Week. There's the out at my house front yard stuff. There's the different activities that we're involved in. We're building those relationships with students, and then we're earning a bit of trust. And then they're seeking advice, they're seeking wisdom, and we're able to speak into their life. So it's pretty cool to see all the things that we're involved in on the front end and the relationships that we're trying to build. And the payoff is when students start leaning in and saying, hey, I know this person. I know that leader. I can go to them for advice. And that's something we love to do. I know you love to do it. I love to do it is to pour into these students.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So Welcome Week was my third, to piggyback off of your second. So what else do you have on your list?
Yeah. So this year, Locamente's something. It's a student-led Thursday nights, 10 o'clock. Students get together. There's usually a testimony or somebody talks about how God's working in their life. Maybe somebody maybe teaches a lesson or something. Then there's music. There's a student-led worship band. So 10 o'clock at night, 150, 175 students that are getting together just to worship Jesus. I mean, that's pretty fascinating, pretty surreal to think about that they're doing this. For us, 10 o'clock at night says, wow, that's crazy. But I mean, they're up, they're spending their time, could be spending their time doing all kinds of things, but they're spending their time worshiping Jesus. So that's exciting in itself, but the kind of memorable part, that in itself is memorable. But within there, we've seen a number of people come to faith in Jesus, and some of them being athletes. And so it's been it's been one of the highlights of the semester is to see people engaging in worship, engaging with what God is doing in their life, coming to faith in Christ. I mean, what else could you ask for? These kids are meeting the King of the universe and being saved from sin and reconciled to God. And wow, what an amazing thing to talk about. So for me, the day that I had heard, the day after is like a Friday. Well, it was a Friday because Local Mente's on a Thursday. The next Friday, I can't remember the date, but I'm hearing, hey, last night we had 2 football players come to faith in Jesus, and we've had that happen a couple of times. So it's a big highlight for us.
That's great. Another kind of combo of 2 things that are related, and one that bleeds into a little bit to the summer. A lot of my time gets spent trying to figure out how we presenting the university publicly and the different things that we go to, or putting together events, or in these cases, booths at conventions. So the Southern Baptist Convention and the Missouri Baptist Convention, I thought for us this year were 2 successful trips for us. The SBC in Indianapolis and the Missouri Baptist Convention in St. Charles outside of St. Louis. It's a lot of effort to get a lot of materials and people and things down or over to those events. But I always enjoy being there because I think it's a reminder that we're part of a bigger kind of community. We're not isolated as this little independent university in a corner of Missouri. Like, we're part of some bigger groups that are important and that are doing a lot of great work that we're a part of and that support us. And then we mutually support other universities or groups within that. So it's those always good reminders of kind of the bigger network that we're involved in, and just the people that we know there, the students that we do get to meet there. I don't know. I just get energized with those events, and then they're fun to go to. So that was both of those this year. I was really felt good about how they went and enjoyed. And you were at both of those as well.
Yeah, I love those events. I love going to the SBC. I've been going to the SBC for a long time. So I don't know how many years, 20 years or more, I've been going to the Southern Baptist Convention. So when I go and, relationships, I just see people that I've known, people I've been in ministry with, maybe on staff at different churches with, or went to seminary with, or were in college ministry with years ago, and now get to see the ministries they're doing, and we get to talk about the things that the Lord's allowing us to do. So that's all a lot of fun, and really enjoy those times. Southern Baptist Convention, Missouri Baptist Convention is a bit less of that because I'm so new to Missouri. I don't know as many people, but getting to know them. I mean, we get to see pastors. We have a lot of Missouri Baptist pastors on our board of trustees. So getting to see some of them and hear what they're involved in. This year had the chance to chair the resolutions committee. So I got to do some work with a few more Missouri Baptists in different ways. So that was exciting. But I think that's a highlight for me, being involved in Missouri Baptist life, because I'm a big believer in the value of our convention of churches. So we're part of a Southern Baptist church, and it was Southern Baptist churches banding together to start Southwest Baptist University, Missouri Baptist University, Hannibal LaGrange, and others that don't exist anymore. Back in the day, William Jewell. Right. So all the work that we're able to accomplish together, that's a pretty cool thing. So anytime we get to travel together and go eat food together in Indianapolis, or enjoy some food and dinner with Dean and Sarah in where were we at? Outside of St. Louis. I can't remember.
St. Charles.
St. Charles. So all those are fun things.
Yep. What's next on your list?
Yeah, so 2 couples. So again, it goes relationships, it seems to be the theme right here for me. I was sitting in my office this semester, and last semester at the end of last May, this past May, I had a chance to lead a team to Thailand. Took several students over there. So I'm sitting in my office, and it was one of those students who came and just started knocking on my window, and holds up their finger, and she had a ring on her finger, and she got engaged, and so she's sharing this with me. And before that, this summer, another couple, we're sitting out actually on the back porch back here, my wife and I get a FaceTime call, and I get another girl that I know from school. She's holding up her hand. She's got a ring on her finger. And so those two couples, all four of them, the guy and the girls both, are all students at SBU. And so again, just for me, a highlight of being, I'm getting to know these students, pouring into them, and they're calling me to let me know they're engaged, or they're running to my office, let me know they're engaged. And I get to do both of those weddings. So I'm pretty excited. So that was a kind of highlight this semester of just relational payoff, right? So you're investing in people, you're building relationships, and you're just seeing the opportunity to continue pouring into people. So I'm excited to do a couple of weddings in May. Actually, those weddings are 2 days apart. So I will actually be I'm taking another team to Nepal in May. I'll fly back on the 19th of May, do a wedding on the 24th of May, and a wedding on the 26th of May. So it'll be a busy May.
Wow, that's cool.
It'll be pretty cool.
The last one I had, you were a part of it. Your commencement speech a couple weeks ago was was memorable and right on time.
As Dr. Manley said, right on time. Yeah.
Commencement is just always a great moment. Again, for us having just been here a couple of years, there's not many, if any, students who we've been able to kind of see from arrival to graduation, unless they came in as a transfer or came in with a lot of credits. But some of these students we've really gotten to know. So each progressive commencement, you start to see more and more faces that you recognize and that you've had a chance to invest in. Like Josh Robertson was one I think of this time around, who his mom has worked in my office and is an admissions counselor. Our girls have been in the musicals that he's performed in as a student, and just gotten to know him and see him perform in a lot of different settings, and just be blessed by his musical gifts, and to see him again perform at commencement and walk across the stage was great. One of the other music majors is actually the student teacher band director at our oldest, the middle school here in town in Bolivar. So just, you get to see how they're starting to figure out what they want to do with their career, and finding out where they're going. And this is just a huge, culmination of the time that they've put in. One of our campus hosts, Zoe, also graduated, and love commencement and love seeing you give a commencement speech. You did a great job.
Well, I appreciate that. That was a highlight for me. I think in various ways, I enjoyed getting to sit on the stage and watch people walk across that I knew. I'd see them, and had one of them at least had a house set for us. And one of the guys that had walked across the stage was actually over here watching a Kentucky basketball game with us. They'd come over to Christmas Carol. We invited them in, and they ended up watching. Well, they were standing outside Christmas caroling, and I had no idea, because we were inside and Kentucky was playing a basketball game, and it was quite close. It was the Gonzaga game, and it was crazy. And so they came in, watched that game with us. But he walks across the stage. That was pretty exciting. So seeing students, we haven't been here long enough to see them go through 4 years of school, but a couple of years, and be able to speak to them and speak at graduation is a big honor for me. So thankful for Dr. Melson asking me to do it, and kept it as brief as I could. I'm actually doing that same speech in New Delhi.
That's right. Yeah,
we'll go over teach a class in February, and then I'll speak at their graduation. And they said there'll be about 1,000 people or so there. And I asked them how much time, and here I had 10 minutes. There I have 40. So I'll have to expand it a little bit. but we'll
I
get
think
it.
you can probably do it.
Yeah, no
So,
problem. We'll get it done.
well, before we wrap up, I mean, spring semester will be here in just a few weeks. What are some initiatives that you're excited about? What are just some things that are coming up in the spring that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, we're looking forward to this. We did this last year. We're doing it again this year. It's called the 100 Days to Launch Party. So we're trying to do something to help create a bit of excitement for our senior or anybody that's graduating. So it might be somebody graduating with an associate's degree, somebody graduating from a doctoral program, master's program, or just their BA. But just trying to create some sense of excitement. You've got and so we'll count backwards 100 days from commencement, and we'll have this 100 days to launch banquet party. Last year we did it. It wasn't super great. It was our first time, so we're going to try to do it better this year. Have a banquet for them, celebrate them, try to just create some momentum going into the spring semester. Hey, it's your last semester. Finish strong. We're super excited for you. So the 100 Days to Launch Party's got some new ideas there rolling out, so we're excited about that. Also excited about the Bearcat Cup continuing, our residence life kind of competition that goes on each year. So we'll have the battle, different things that are going on, certain traditions that we're continuing to do. The Mazarkian, we'll do that again out at the airport. So just some really cool activities. Some of them are new, some old traditions that have been around for a long time that we're excited to see continue. And then excited to dream a little bit with the team. So what we do in the spring, what I get excited about all that stuff that we're doing. But what I like about the spring, and one of the ways that at least my department operates, is we start looking ahead to the fall. So it's an opportunity for us to look to the summer and fall in terms of planning, like what are we doing next year? Like this year, we're executing what we talked about last spring and summer. Now we need to start dreaming about where do we go? How do we do even better? How do we create new initiatives? What do we need to start doing? What do we need to stop doing? Those types of things. So I get excited about the spring because it begins the planning process for the following year. A lot of people may not realize that, right? But it's kind of you can't wait till the summer to start planning, because if you wait till the summer, then you make plans, but the summer's over, and you've got to have plans going into the summer so you can start to contact vendors or plan things or reserve spaces or figure out details. And so we really start that process for planning for the next year in the spring. So I'm excited about that.
That's good stuff. We're going to start working on financial aid packages and award phone calls and working through that with students who have already been admitted. So I've been excited to see us close this semester strong with a lot of new applications and getting students admitted so that we can actually start having those really detailed conversations about how we can help families pay for college. So that's going to happen pretty fast in the spring. Excited to see a couple of new things that we're going to try on the traditional undergraduate side for admission. So we have a partnership with a group called Niche that many families might be familiar with. And we also are about to launch, we're going to call it an AI recruiter. So it's an artificial intelligence based recruiting thing that we feed a knowledge base, and it's going to call, email, text students that have just inquired. So not students who've applied or
is this the recruiter I talked to last week?
You talked to the AI recruiter for us. That's right. Awesome. Gave it some info. So really curious to kind of see what that does. It's us recognizing artificial intelligence as being important and that it can be a benefit to a lot of operations. And this is probably one of the bigger things that we'll have tried with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. And then, we've got one of the things that we're going to really be working on is trying to nail down recruiting for our DPT program, our master's programs, our online programs. And so some new strategies that we're trying with those. We think some new changes we're making to those programs that will allow us to recruit students a little better, and looking forward to seeing how the team can work through those. And then I'm excited for the podcast. We'll continue this in the spring.
We started building a spring list, and some of the speakers that we have for chapel, we're going to try to get on there. We've got some pretty cool people coming in. I mean, you've got Paul Chitwood, IMB, is going to be on campus. You have a guy named Nathan Milliken, good friend of mine, pastors a multi-site church in in Indiana, oversees church planting for the state of Indiana and North American Mission Board. So look forward to, we'll try to get him on while he's here. But yeah, looking forward to having more of our colleagues on, some of the people we work with, Jacob Banks, what's going on in residence life, those sorts of things. So excited to continue to do this and get better at it, and maybe not have dogs in the background wrestling and fighting. I keep muting myself to yell at the puppy we have to get out of the Christmas tree over there because he likes to get into everything.
Man,
but puppies.
Hey, that's real life, right? That's what happens.
It's real life, yeah. So I'm sitting here trying to take care of these dogs. My wife's working and trying to finish up work before we head out of here on Christmas vacation. So, well, yeah, there they are. They're growling at each other.
There you go. I don't want to keep you from that, so we'll let you wrap up there.
Fun, man. You have a good Christmas with your family, and finish strong there at work today. And look forward to being back. We'll be back January 4th, and we'll hit the ground running. It's that next week.
Yeah, we got 1 week of offices being open, week of January 6th, and then classes start January 13th. It's going to be off to the races.
I got a lot of work. Classes start, and I'm teaching that Intro to Christianity class, and got a lot of work to do before the 14th of January.
Yeah.
So
we'll get there.
We will. We will. All right.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, everyone who listens, and we will be in touch in 2025.
Yeah. See ya.